Welcome back to ChannelFrederator, the place where we swing headlong into the heart of your favorite animations. Today we're taking a leap of faith and diving right into the multiverse. Yep, we're talking about the one and only Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. From the bustling streets of Brooklyn to the farthest corners of the Spider-Verse, we're about to uncover secrets, Easter eggs, and behind-the-scenes facts beyond your wildest imagination. Whether you're a fan of Miles Morales, Gwen Stacy, or any of the other Spider people, we've got something for you. Just be ready for spoilers, like a whole lot of them. We're about to drop 107 facts about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse that will change you deeply, perhaps more than a bagel being tossed at your head. If you know, you know. Let's get started.
Welcome to ChannelFrederator, the cartoon central of the internet. Before we begin, we publish new videos every week, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. And with that out of the way, let's get into the video.
Number 1. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is a sequel to the Oscar-winning animated film Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. But you already knew that, didn't you? Number 2. Speaking of things that you already knew, this film features a massive amount of Easter eggs. There's plenty for fans to spot and enjoy, and you're probably here to see all the ones you missed. Never fear, we've got plenty. Number 3. The film features over 200 different Spider people. In the face of potentially infinite Spider people, that doesn't seem too impressive, but come on, having 200 in one movie is pretty cool. Number 4. The film opens with a logo of the Comics Code Authority, a nod to the organization that regulated comic books from 1954 to 2011. This logo was also present in the opening credits of the first film, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Number 5. The film catches us up on what Gwen Stacy, voiced by Haley Steinfeld, has been up to since the last film. Gwen's universe has a watercolor aesthetic and is very stylistically similar to Robbie Rodriguez's original comics. Number 6. Speaking of Gwen Stacy, in her universe, she drums in a band called the Mary Chains. Ha! Number 7. We get a deeper look at Gwen's universe's version of Peter Parker, who turns himself into the Lizard. The two go head to head, and Gwen, not realizing that the Lizard is actually her best friend, ends up being unable to stop Peter's death. Number 8. J.K. Simmons reprises his iconic role as J. Jonah Jameson, Spider-Man's harshest critic, not to mention editor extraordinaire in multiple variants across the Spider-Verse. Number 9. JJJ seems to function a little differently than Spider-Man when existing across multiple universes. It's always J.K. Simmons. Number 10. The film introduces Yuri Watanabe, a police lieutenant who is a regular face in various Spider-Man storylines. In the comics, Yuri eventually adopts the alter ego of Wraith. Number 11. An old-school Italian Renaissance variant of the Vulture makes a very stylish appearance. Number 12. Renaissance Vulture doesn't get to stick around long though, as Spider-Man 2099 arrives to take care of him. 2099, aka Miguel O'Hara, is voiced by Oscar Isaac. Number 13. 2099 originates from Spider-Man 2099 and is pretty different than classic Spider-Man. He became superpowered while trying to cure his addiction to a drug he was tricked into taking and had half of his DNA reprogrammed into spider mode. This gave him super strength and speed, but no spider sense. He can also see in the dark and has fangs. Number 14. 2099 is assisted by his own personal AI known as Lila. Not Rocket Raccoon's soulmate, but Lyrate Lifeform Approximation. Number 15. Across the Spider-Verse also premieres the first big screen appearance of Jessica Drew, also known as Spider-Woman, voiced by Issa Rae. Number 16. Drew gets some serious badass points on merit of her being pregnant while fighting crime and also having a sweet motorcycle. Number 17. Drew's comics counterpart is a few degrees of Kevin Bacon away from the High Evolutionary. Her father was a research partner of said Guardian's Big Bad and managed to develop a spider serum to help her recover from a childhood illness, although she did get put into one of the High Evolutionary's accelerator tubes. Number 18. Her powers in the comics are a little odd too. She uses bioelectricity, can glide in the air, and also uses pheromones to control the men in her immediate vicinity. Didn't get to see any of that in the movie. Number 19. Spider-Man 2099 drops a little No Way Home reference, lamenting, and don't get me started about Doctor Strange and the nerd from Earth 199,999. Seems like Peter and Strange caused some real issues in the Spider-Verse with that whole conundrum. Number 20. When 2099 rips off one of the Vulture's wings, the villain pulls a new wing from a pocket dimension. This makes 2099 a little exasperated as he mentions Hammer Space. Number 21. What's Hammer Space? Well, think about characters, often cartoons, who seem to have an infinite supply of invisible and impossible storage space. Pulling a comically large hammer out of a teensy tiny pocket, dropping an anvil that materialized out of nowhere out of someone's head. It's not fully explained, but it does have a fun moment in the sun. Number 22. Genke, Miles' roommate, is seen playing the 2018 Spider-Man game from Insomniac and PlayStation Studios, which is funny because he's also a character in that game, too. I wonder if he noticed. Number 23. The Spot, voiced by Jason Schwartzman, is introduced as the main villain for the Spider-Verse trilogy. Number 24. The Spot, aka Jonathan Owen, is a high-ranking employee at Alchemax, who brought the spider that bit Miles into their universe while testing Kingpin and Olivia Octavius' collider from the first film. Number 25. The Spot also got his powers thanks to Miles Morales, although he doesn't seem too thankful for them. When Miles destroyed the Super Collider, Owen was the one caught in the explosion and mutated into the villain we now see in the movie. Number 26. The Spot has the power to create his namesake spots, which are essentially little black holes in space. These can be used to travel between dimensions or to teleport himself and objects throughout space. Number 27. He even makes a fun little reference to another Spider-Man villain by claiming that he's got the power of the multiverse in the palm of his hand. Doc Ock would be proud. Number 28. The Spot hops between many different universes, which is an absolute treasure trove of Easter eggs. One verse the Spot visits is reminiscent of Spider-Man's first ever appearance in the Amazing Fantasy comics. Number 29. Another quick verse appears to be made entirely of Legos, which could be a lot of fun to see happen. I wonder if Emmett has ever run into a Lego Spider-Man. Number 30. One more fun verse-hopping Easter egg for now. The Spot also comes face to face with Eddie Brock's friend and convenience store owner Mrs. Chen from the Venom films. Number 31. We get to visit Earth 50101, which is the home of Pavitr Prabhakar, aka Spider-Man India. This universe is a tribute to the Indian comic book series Spider-Man India that debuted in 2004. Number 32. Pav didn't get his powers through a scientifically altered spider bite. Instead, an ancient mystical yogi gave him the powers of a spider. Number 33. Spider-Man India is voiced by Karan Soni. You might recognize his voice from another Marvel product too. Soni also plays the recurring character Dopinder in the Deadpool movies. There's also a universe where Spider-Man's a cowboy, a nod to the comic book series Weird Western Tales. Number 35. And on that note, let's shine a spotlight on some of the alternate Spider-Men and the comics they likely come from that we see in the background during the movie, rapid fire style, starting with Samurai Spider-Man. This one has a pretty wicked action figure from Bandai and might be a nod to the 5 Ronin series, although that features Wolverine, Hulk, the Punisher, Psylocke, and Deadpool, not Spidey. Number 36. Then there's Bag Spider-Man. This is more of a one-off, but it does exist in the comics. Spider-Man ditched the symbiote suit and is given a spare costume by the Human Torch, complete with a paper bag to complete the anonymity. Number 37. Hark! Medieval Knight Spider-Man makes a quick appearance. This version could be pulled from the Marvel Medieval universe where Spidey is an armored knight with blades in his wrists instead of webs, or maybe even Peter Parquois from Marvel 1602. Number 38. Get your bananas ready, as Monkey Spider-Man from Marvel Apes has a moment in the sun too. Number 39. If you spend a lot of time looking at different types of G-pens and ink, you might have noticed the Mangaverse Spider-Man swinging about. This version of Peter Parker is a member of the Ninja Spider Clan, and has ninja training to augment his spider powers. Number 40. Remember Peter Parker's high school bully, Eugene Flash Thompson? Well, in an alternate universe, he is bitten by a radioactive spider of his very own and becomes Captain Spider. He's got most of the same powers as Spider-Man, but he never develops web shooters. You can tell it's not regular Spider-Man by the shock of ginger hair poking out of the top of the mask, and you can see that ginger hair make a guest appearance in this movie. Number 41. Of course, Werewolf Spider-Man makes his own appearance. Number 42. In another wild canon event, we meet the Superior Spider-Man. This version of Spidey witnessed the demise of Peter Parker and is actually Otto Octavius taking up the mantle of Friendly and Neighborhood. He's the Superior Spider-Man though, don't get it twisted. Number 43. The 6-armed, mindless, monstrous doppelganger Spider-Man shows up as well. Number 44. There's a Titan Spider-Man taking after the race Thanos belongs to. Number 45. We see another alternate Spider-Man make an appearance from a universe where Uncle Ben never bites the dust. Armored Spider-Man becomes a billionaire and a jerk and thinks he's better than everyone, although he can shoot lasers, so I guess that does make him better than most. Number 46. Who says superheroes can't get dressed up? Dapper Spider-Man makes an appearance and looks good doing it. Number 47. Anti-heroes and foils get a chance to briefly shine here too, as Kane Parker, aka the Scarlet Spider, makes a quick appearance. Kane was originally a villain, a clone gone wrong that wanted to take out some of his anger on the world, but eventually redeemed himself. Number 48. Similar to Mystique, there is a shape-shifting Spider-Man, which brings up a lot of questions as to how this Spidey would handle his crime fighting. Number 49. Briefly spotted in trailers too, Cyborg Spider-Woman makes her debut in Across the Spider-Verse. This hulking metallic spider variant sports an enormous arm cannon and is pretty darn intimidating. There was an action figure released by Hasbro ahead of time too. Number 50. Insomniac's video game Spider-Men show up too. Number 51. Spider-Rex, a Tyrannosaurus Rex version of our hero, pops in for a visit. Yes, that is real. He got his powers from a meteorite filled with spiders. Look it up. Number 52. And of course, Peter Parked Car is in Across the Spider-Verse. He's an anthropomorphic vehicle similar in style to Lightning McQueen and should be taken very seriously. Number 53. Back to some more quote-unquote normal spider variants, we catch a glimpse of Lady Spider, who hails from a steampunk universe. She's got some spider arms sticking out of her back, and she's pretty darn cool. Number 54. Did you catch Spider-Man Unlimited? Because he's here too. Only 90s kids remember. Number 55. Spider-Man 1967 makes his way onto the big screen as well. Only 60s kids remember. He's got the best theme song too. Spider-Man, Spider-Man does whatever a spider can.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can.
Number 56. Mary Jane herself makes an appearance as a kind of Spider-Man, walking around with all of the other spider folks. This time she's wearing her spinneret costume from Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows, where she and Peter are a crime-fighting couple. Number 57. Sun Spider, aka Charlotte Weber, shows up too. This spider person has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and often uses crutches or a wheelchair even when donning her spider suit. Number 58. A professional wrestler Spider-Man takes to the ring, referencing Spider-Man's origin story where he initially uses his powers to become a professional wrestler before becoming a superhero. To be honest, that's an equally awesome career. Number 59. It's not just spider people seeing the limelight, some spider tech makes the cut as well. Spider Armor Mark III, designed by Peter Parker as a last resort against the Sinister Six, makes an appearance in the movie too. Number 60. Now we can take a look at some of these spider people with more substantial roles, as well as well-known voice actors. Let's start with Spider-Punk, aka Hobie Brown, who is voiced by Daniel Kaluuya. He makes his big screen debut as a fascist-fighting anti-establishment spider person, appearing as he does in his own comic series. Number 61. Spider-Bite, aka Margot Kess, is played by Amandla Stenberg and comes from a universe where the majority of people's time is spent in virtual reality. She's all about stopping cybercrime. You might recognize her voice as Stenberg also played Rue in The Hunger Games. Number 62. The Scarlet Spider is voiced by none other than Andy Samberg of The Lonely Island, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and more. His secret identity is Ben Reilly, the clone of Peter Parker from the controversial Clone Saga arc of the 90s. Number 63. Donald Glover makes a cameo in the film as a live-action version of the Prowler. Glover previously had a small role in Spider-Man Homecoming as the Prowler's alter ego, but this is the first time he's appeared in full costume. Number 64. The film includes footage from different Spider-Man universes during a scene explaining the concept of canon events. These are occurrences that happen in every Spider-Man's timeline, like loved ones dying. Footage from The Amazing Spider-Man is shown, with Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker witnessing the death of Captain George Stacy. Number 65. In addition to Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire's web-slinger from Sony's original trilogy also appears. In the same canon event, Maguire's Peter Parker loses his Uncle Ben in the tragic scene from the first Spider-Man. Number 66. The Spectacular Spider-Man, a beloved yet short-lived animated series that ran on Kids WB on CW and Disney XD for 2 seasons, makes a return in Across the Spider-Verse. Josh Keaton reprises his voice role briefly in the Spider Society headquarters. Number 67. The adorable wild child of Peter B. Parker, Mayday Parker, is an early version of Spider-Girl from the comics. However, she's just a baby for now, who for some reason has her own web shooters. Thanks, Peter. Number 68. A couple of villainous plushes can be spotted in Mayday's crib. Cartoony, cozy versions of the Green Goblin and a masked octopus, probably referencing Olivia Octavius, are there to comfort the tiny hero when it's time for bed. Number 69. Marvel and Sony have hinted that Mayday Parker may eventually get developed into her own Spider-Girl film series. Probably focused on when she's no longer a baby, but who knows? I'd watch a Spider Baby movie just to see what happens. Number 70. Want some more? One of these Spider Society members is Metro Spider-Man, a version of Spider-Man voiced by record producer Metro Boomin. Metro Boomin also produced the soundtrack for Across the Spider-Verse. Number 71. Penny Parker, having been a major Spider-Verse character in Into the Spider-Verse, briefly returns. Number 72. Penny comes back with a brand new Spider-Bot, which looks almost exactly like the version of SPDR seen in the original Marvel comics. Number 73. Spider-Cop makes an appearance in Across the Universe too. You might recognize him from the Insomniac Spider-Man game, where Spider-Man often pretends to be a grizzled detective while talking to police captain Yuri Watanabe. Number 74. We also meet Spider-Cat. This feline hero attacks Miles, shooting webs like hairballs. This could be the Spider-Cat of Earth 999 from the original comics, but it could also be the masked Spider-Cat featured in Insomniac's Spider-Man Miles Morales game. Somebody double check with Genke, he probably knows. Number 75. Where would any Spider-Man be without some villains though? Across the Spider-Verse showcases a wide variety of well-known and lesser-known ne'er-do-wells from all across the multiverse, most of whom are shown in the Spider Society jail. The Spot was elevated to arch-nemesis status in this movie, but others like Grizzly are still shown to be as ineffectual as ever. Number 76. Miles runs into a classic villain of the week, Armadillo, on his way home on the subway. Number 77. Kraven the Hunter, one of Spidey's most legendary foes, is locked up here, no doubt waiting for an opportunity to pursue the most dangerous game once again. Number 78. Mysterio, a rival of Peter Porker's, is also in jail here, but definitely doesn't inspire the same kind of awe that Kraven does. Number 79. Even harder to place are Video Man and Typeface, both so silly that it's hard to believe that they made it into the movie at all. But hey, if you're gonna go for a deep cut, you might as well make it deep. Number 80. Every new version of Spider-Man was introduced with a personal origin narration beginning with "Let's do this one last time." However, Across the Spider-Verse shifts gears with a deeper dive into Spider-Gwen's history with the opener "Let's do things differently." Number 81. The directors, Joaquim Dos Santos, Kemp Powers, and Justin K. Thompson, have a rich history in animation. Dos Santos is known for his work on Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra. Powers co-directed and co-wrote Soul, and Thompson was the production designer for the first Spider-Verse film. Number 82. The directors wanted to push the boundaries of animation even further in Across the Spider-Verse. They aimed to create a unique visual experience that would stand out from other animated films. Number 83. The film blends both 2D and 3D elements. This hybrid approach is part of what gives Spider-Verse films their distinctive look. Number 84. The animation team used an old-school animation technique called smearing, which involves stretching an object or character along the direction of movement to create the illusion of motion. Number 85. Unsurprisingly, Across the Spider-Verse was inspired by the work of comic book artists. The directors wanted to make the film feel like a comic book come to life, complete with panel-like framing and text boxes. Number 86. Each universe has its own distinct color scheme, helping to differentiate them visually. Which universe is your favorite? Number 87. The film's soundtrack features a mix of genres, reflecting the diverse range of characters and universes in the Spider-Verse. Number 88. The film's sound design plays a crucial role too. From the sounds of web slinging to the unique noises of each universe, the sound team worked hard to create an immersive auditory experience. Number 89. The film's production was a global effort, with animators and artists working from home due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This remote collaboration was a new experience for many on the team. Number 90. The film's script went through numerous drafts before settling on a final version. The writers wanted to ensure that the story was engaging and that each character had their own chance to shine. I'd say they were successful. Number 91. The movie also broke the record for largest animated movie crew, with over 1,000 artists working to bring it to big screens around the world. Number 92. Foam Party, a one-off coffee shop joke from Into the Spider-Verse, makes a return. Miles' dad, Jefferson, decries this cafe for sounding like a disco, and lo and behold, it's still around in the sequel and is a set piece for a fight between Spider-Man and the Spot. Number 93. In the first Spider-Verse movie, someone comments, "I think it's a Banksy," while looking at a multiversal lamppost, referring to the work of the iconic street artist. This line was delivered by Post Malone, and it's heard again in Across the Spider-Verse. Pay attention after the battle with the Da Vinci Vulture at the Guggenheim Art Museum, and you'll hear the exact same line. Number 94. The film features a pointing Spider-Man meme, but taken to its absolute limit. The original meme is from the 1967 Spider-Man animated series, where Spider-Man encounters a villain who impersonates him, leading to a scene where they both point at each other in confusion. Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, and Tobey Maguire did a similar bit during the production of No Way Home, but this time around we get countless Spider-Men pointing at each other during the movie itself. Number 95. Across the Spider-Verse is the longest American animated film ever made, coming in at 2 hours and 20 minutes. It beat out the previous title holder by just 4 minutes. Number 96. Of course, you can also catch a glimpse of the black-suited symbiote Spider-Man. Number 97. Stan Lee does not have a cameo appearance in Across the Spider-Verse. He played a part in the prequel where he hands Miles his first costume. However, the directors said that they decided it would be macabre and exploitative to include someone who couldn't offer permission anymore. Number 98. Everything Everywhere All at Once is referenced on a billboard too, with the Spider-Verse's version of it being titled All of It, Always, All Over the Place. It even features a bagel. Number 99. There's also a Spider-Man Homecoming reference. In one scene, a billboard can be seen advertising Vulture's Salvage, a nod to the villain Vulture, who was played by Michael Keaton in that film. Number 100. Oscar Isaac plays a whole bunch of different Marvel characters, from Moon Knight to Apocalypse and, of course, 2099. Number 101. Miles is tied to a punching bag at the end of the movie, which could be a reference to Spider-Man's never-ending role as a punching bag for the world around him. Something's gotta go wrong and he's gotta get punished by something. Number 102. The supporting cast of Into the Spider-Verse makes a triumphant return at the very end of Across the Spider-Verse. Gwen assembles a rescue team to save Miles from Earth 42, which includes Spider-Ham, Spider-Man Noir, and Penny Parker. Number 103. After dying in Into the Spider-Verse, a version of Mahershala Ali's Aaron Davis returns near the end of Across the Spider-Verse. But in this Aaron's universe, there was never a spider to bite Miles, and the world has plunged into crime without a Spider-Man. Number 104. Across the Spider-Verse is a critical darling. It currently holds a 96% tomato meter rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 105. Audiences are going wild for it too. The audience score is also at a dazzling 96%. Number 106. Of course, the movie has been a major box office success, collecting $120 million in its box office debut. Those numbers are only going up from there. Number 107. After ending on a massive cliffhanger, people are clamoring for more. Across the Spider-Verse will be succeeded by Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, which is currently slated to release on March 29th, 2024. Less than a year, folks. We can do it. And that's a wrap. We swung through the city, jumped into the multiverse, and uncovered 107 amazing facts about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Whether you're a seasoned Spider fan or new to the Spider-Verse in general, we hope you enjoyed this journey as much as we have. Just like our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, we all have the power to make a difference, so keep exploring, keep discovering, and most importantly, keep being you.
Did you enjoy our video? What facts do you think we missed? Let us know in the comments down below. And while you're there, like and subscribe to see more great videos every week. And remember, Frederator loves you.